for anybody that's doing worktop edging, I'm going to show you how I do it. If you've got a method that you use and it works for you, stick to it. But this is how I do it. You can buy plastic glue spreaders, but to be honest with you, this doesn't cost you any money and the spreaders get destroyed. So this is better because you just throw it away. We've got to edge that. And most worktops come with an edging strip. This is the glue I use, is the Evo-stick Impact. Now you do get another one which is solvent free. I've used it in the past and for me it just doesn't work. It does smell a lot because obviously it contains solvent. You might be asked for ID if you look young enough when you go and buy one of these. Glue tends to dry faster on your worktop, so I always spread the worktop first. Doesn't really matter if you get a bit of excess on the top, they'll come off. You can wipe it off with thinners, just let it drip down. But make sure you coat the edges quite well and don't try to flatten it off too much. You want those ridges to stick out. More than enough there. Now you can turn to your edging. And if the camera will pick it up, I'm not sure, you'll be able to see those ridges better on here. You want to take off, but you don't want to flatten the ridges. And if you're going to work with this stuff, make sure it's well ventilated. We've got the door open and the windows open. Now that both edges are covered with glue, you want to let that dry. So that needs to dry to a touch. So basically when it's not sticky, and then you apply that to each other. That's why it's called impact glue. Now these are quite dry, they dry to the touch. They should be fine to go on. Whenever you're putting them on, always put less overhang on your top edge than your bottom edge, because your bottom edge is much easier to trim than your top edge. So whenever you're filing this edge off, never file back and forth, always go forward at an angle. Might be a good idea to practice this on a scrap piece before you do on your worktop. So you will see when you get close to the worktop, you'll get that fine bit, and that's warning you that's time to stop now. That's the glue right on the edge, and you can see that it's come off nicely. But if you carry on, then you're going to dig into the top part of your worktop. So as you can see, that's now finished off nicely. But we just want to give this just a tiny little sand. And just take that edge, that sharp edge off it. And that's the top section now complete. Now this one is your hardest section to do because it's at angle. So you're going to be taking a lot of material off, and you got to do it at a slight angle in between this one and this one. So basically if you go too much, you will dig into this edge. But what I do, you just score the front of it. I just cut off some material and then click it in, snap it off like that so that there's less material on that. Now with your file, you just try and feel where that material ends. And you can see the peeling there, and that's telling you that you've now reached the worktop. Take your time with this one, and you'll be alright. We'll finish that off with some sandpaper and that should be okay. As I said, your bottom edge is much easier. Start off making a little groove there. Hold your file nice and flat against your worktop and dig into it. Dig into it at a slight angle. And now that you can just finish off with your sandpaper. Nice and flat. A few passes at the angle, just to take the edge off. And that's nicely done. And finally, just wipe the whole surface down.